So yes, folks, I know that I've brought you a lot of repetitive information over the last 4 years in the message that I've attempted to convey to you through the medium of these radio shows. But as I said earlier, once people can gain a certain understanding of how reality works and how the system works, then the system falls away. And it would appear that the crows outside also agree with that evaluation. I mean, sure, there are bad people and there are bad families, there are bad sections of consciousness, psychopathic sections of consciousness that exist at the very top of the system, that have put things in place and control things and continue to inflict their personalities upon the rest of the world. But the strength still lies in the base of the structure that they've created. It doesn't lie in the capstone, it lies in the base. And so what's needed is for people to realize that they hold the system up by their compliance with the system. And what compliance with the system basically entails is for you to remain in a state of fear and to remain divided from your community. When really, if you put yourself in a state of love and empathy and respect for others and unite with your community and unite with those around you, the system fails. It's that simple, folks. If people had a united community, they wouldn't be able to be putting cameras in my town. If people respected each other, if people weren't forced to pay to be alive and to collect paper at the expense of others, then they would treat the people around them with respect. They would give to their neighbours. We would have a giving, thriving society, and human culture and the human mind and the overall mind of man could reach incredible heights and achieve absolutely amazing things. But we're trained not to think this way. We're kept on a treadmill of debt, which is kept in place through this system of fear-based mind control and division that's inflicted upon the mind of man, and through a great many other mechanisms of control that are inflicted upon us. The fluoridation of the water, the GM foods, the electromagnetic soup that we're forced to swim around in, all of this stuff. And it all serves to keep us distracted from the realities and the simple truths that I've attempted to share with you on the show today. When looking at it, and when looking at how enslaved the mind of man currently is to this false reality and to this fictional system, the task can appear very daunting to the individual out there who wishes to bring about some positive change and who wishes to share this type of information with people, because people are way too busy on the treadmill, running and collecting stuff, and ultimately only ever succeeding in getting further and further away from themselves in the entire process. And many of them simply don't have time to pay attention to what's going on. And so that's why ultimately you need to lead by example, as I've very often said. There are many people who will not make the grade. There are many people who will be left behind in the conscious evolution that is occurring. There are many people who are quite happy with their slavery and don't wish to look outside of the box. And that's okay. You simply have to move on from such people and love them for what they are anyway, because they know not what they do, and perhaps that is their reason for being here. But what you have to follow and what you have to pay attention to is what your basic needs are. Because once you have this type of information, you realize that what life is about is fulfilling your basic needs. And the most basic of all of those needs is to find yourself, to find out who and what you are, and how to stand in that power, and how to use that power for the greater good. How to use that power to influence reality around you and to improve reality by your presence in it. This doesn't mean standing up and being vocal and fighting against the system, marching down the street with a banner shouting death to the king. What it means is changing your physical vibration to one that operates in harmony with reality around you, one that operates in harmony with the people that you meet, one that operates in harmony with creation, because that's how you improve creation, that's how you improve reality, and that's how you improve the world for other people. And that's all I've attempted to offer you on these shows, is that perspective. Because I think life is beautiful, I think life is wonderful, and I feel absolute empathy for the suffering I see in the world, and I wish that suffering to cease. I'd like to see everybody fulfilling their ultimate potential of who and what they are, and seeing life for the wondrous, marvellous experience that it actually is. It's a rare gift, folks. It really is a rare gift to have something as miraculous as the human body with which to operate in, and to be living in a reality where you have the trees and the birds and the beautiful sky and the ocean and all of the abundance of life that exists around us. Sometimes I go outside and I just look at a single leaf on a tree, and to me it's a source of fascination and a source of wonder. We have all of this right at our fingertips, and we have so much potential contained within ourselves, within this wonderful body that we've been granted to experience this reality with. And yet we're not paying attention to what we have. We're caught in a matrix of false reality, a set of rules that have been written down to control us, to prevent us from being who and what we are, to keep us divided from the people around us, but more importantly, to keep us divided from ourselves. And I believe it's time we paid attention. And that's all I've been offering you ever since I started these shows. You can take the message any way you will. Maybe I do repeat myself too much, but I'm just trying to scream, wake up, in as many different ways as possible. Because I love you all and I want you to wake up. I want this consciousness to wake up. Because that's the way reality is improved. So it doesn't matter who I am, folks. It doesn't matter who anybody is. What matters is the message, and what matters is what you choose to do with the information. And as I said, folks, that's why I haven't put my face out there. That's why I don't sell any information to people. I'm not interested in the money. I mean, sure, I need money to survive, because we all need money to survive. But all the money I get, I just put into distributing information to other people anyway, because I just feel the need to do so. I feel the need to bring the message to you that I bring to you, because I believe that we are being given an opportunity to put this message into action. We've been given an opportunity to shift this consciousness. And if we don't seize this opportunity, it's just going to get further and further boxed in, and it will eventually be discarded. Because that's what this system does. The system that we feed, this imaginary meme that enslaves us, its whole purpose is to discard human consciousness, discard humanity, and make itself more efficient. The new life form, if a new life form was to appear on this planet, it would be a life form based in the consciousness of the corporate system that we are allowing to be created, if things are allowed to flow in the current direction that they're flowing. And I believe human consciousness has so much more potential than that. We have the ability to turn this world into everything that it should be. We just have to realize that it starts with the individual, and we have to act. We have to operate on that individual level, and we have to project that into the world around us, and that's how the world will change. And that's why I do what I do, folks, and that's why I continue to do these shows, and that's why I continue to bring you the same old message in as many different ways as I can, in the hope that each show may touch a new heart. And who knows, folks, maybe I will drop the shows back to once a month soon, because, as I said, there's no point me just bringing you news events and current affairs and things like that. because these events are already being brought to you all around the place anyway, and as I said, all you're really seeing with all of them is corporate consolidation. That's what the whole thing's about. It's about building the global corporation, and that's where all of these events lead to. Bar none, they all point to a common ground, folks. That's where they're all going, and it's about building the global corporation. And we have an opportunity to deal with that. We have an opportunity to build a global mankind and a global human unity that is not a global corporation. We can still keep our nationalistic traditions and do the things that we do as separate peoples on the planet, but we can do it with respect for each other. And everywhere that I've ever gone, and every person that I've ever met from any nationality anywhere around the earth, all of these people have been kind-hearted and good, decent, respectful people anyway. So the problem obviously isn't the people, it isn't their respect for their culture and their nation. The problem is government, and this is true for the entire planet, folks, and this is the basis of all of the problems that we face as a species. They all come from government, the whole lot. All the corporate corruption that we're facing, all this has been instigated by government, and the reason it's happened is because people have forgotten that government is the servant of the people, and it is we the people who hold all the power. The reason they get away with it is because we have simply forgotten who and what we are. And so that's what I've attempted to bring to you today. And I've done this because, well, to me, the solution seems so very simple. The solution lies in you. The solution lies in you changing your heart space. The solution lies in people finally realizing who and what they are and simply applying it to the world around them. And we have the opportunity to do this now, folks, because never before in human history have we been possessed with the knowledge that we have now. Never before has the system been laid so bare. Never before have we had the means of conveying the message to such a vast amount of people. We've got the internet. The internet is the most wonderful tool of communication we could ever have envisioned, because by use of the internet and by means of supporting each other and respecting each other, we can finally convey this message to vast amounts of people. So let's do what we can, and let's improve reality by our presence in it. We can do this individually, and we can start right now. But I think that's it for me, folks. I know I've probably gone off on a few kind of bizarre tangents today, but, well, that's just the way it goes. And thank you very much for giving the message the attention that you've given me over the years. Thank you very much to anybody who has supported the Crow House. Your help is very much needed and very much appreciated. But I will leave it here for now, and I'll look forward to speaking to you again next week. Please take care until then. In Lakesh.